All right, it is the end of day 6, and I am gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna kind of get right to it. I just want to say again, thank you, everybody that's been commenting and the support. I I know I talked about it last night, but it really matters. It really does. And I had another commenter, Lasicu or LASICU. So she said that her and her husband is doing they just started and they're like 3 days in. So I'm glad that you know you can find somewhere to go. Again, if I can help anybody with my journey, like ahead of time, and help you out for ideas or daily things or whatever. But that's what I'm trying to document everything. So, but she asked about sleep because I mentioned it before, and that's another good thing is with this diary as I'm kind of doing this public diary. If there's something I forget to follow up on, don't be afraid to ask me in the comments. Hey, how's the sleep going? Like she did. She asked about the sleep. So, sleep wise, it's kind of varies now because I don't know how some of you are, but again, I consider myself morbidly obese. Now I know that there's people even bigger than me and things like that, but I am easily what 150 pounds overweight for sure, if not more. But about 150, 160 pounds overweight from my normal body weight for my height. So, I have been sleeping sitting up for the last year or so, the last few years, maybe longer. Maybe it's been at least 2, 3 years. I've been sleeping sitting up. Now I have a bed that has the thing. It was like actually it wasn't real expensive. It's both sides of the bed. There's nothing fancy about it. It just raises up. It elevates. And my wife, she sleeps in another room. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the sad thing. That's the sad reality of with battling being overweight. Um, with my snoring and I probably should do that whole sleep apnea thing. But I just found that I can sleep sitting up for the most part, like reclined ish, but mostly sitting up. I got it kind of down and it helps me sleep. And I usually sleep pretty decent. Last night I slept all right. I don't feel like I woke up too much. So I know that there's been some sleep off and on issues with people, from what I've heard. But also, I can tell you this: usually that's in the beginning. Um, Again, I did carnivore for 2 months, like a year ago, and I can tell you I had some really good sleep. There was some side effects once I got after about that first month, and I'm hoping to experience more of that later, and I'll cover that if I come across them. Right now, I just want to share with you guys like what I'm experiencing now. What I'm going through, the and I'm trying to give you guys as much details as I can. Um so while we're in details, a little bit of the embarrassing stuff. Um this morning I was on the potty. It was normal, okay. Not not a large amount, but normal, okay, consistency. And I will say that if you guys caught it earlier in the diary, I'm like right at the edge where I'm getting ready to start having trouble wiping my own booty. Okay. Um, so, uh, this morning again, I went to, I got done going potty and went to go wipe. And, I was like kind of getting ready for that whole, like, I got to do that yoga maneuver. Like, I got to really rack my back and, all this other stuff. And believe it or not, it wasn't as hard to do that today. So I was able to achieve the landing zone a lot clearer. so um so yeah, I'm just passing that along. You know, that's encouraging. You know, even though it's only like it was only like 5 full days in that morning, this morning. I don't know if it's just because I'm not as bloated in the mornings, or like, you know, my gut is starting to get a little more flexible because, again, maybe there's some type of small shrinkage going on. I don't feel like I've lost a ton of weight or anything. You know, this is only the end of day 6. So I'm patient when it comes to the weight thing. I'm patient. It's how I feel that truly matters right now too. Feeling wise, overall, again, fairly solid through the days. The biggest thing, like I keep repeating, is mental cravings. Being around certain things that causes triggers, and you just have to stop and say, no, stop. And it's so easy to want to just give in, and it's so easy, you know, especially with the holidays coming. It's like holiday cookies, you know, and things like that. Okay, so what did I eat today? So today I didn't really. I should say, at like 2 in the morning, I got home from my second job, and right before I went to bed, though, I did have a snack. I did break a fast, which is fine because I'm not. My fasting is not set in stone. You don't want to set your fasting in stone, anyways. But when I got home, my wife and son decided to have a late night snack. They were up, you know, playing games and stuff, and they wanted to have a late night snack. And I thought about it, and I almost felt slightly hungry, but I know I probably wasn't. But so instead, I snacked on a few pieces of bacon. Okay, so I just wanted to share that because I wanted to share every single thing that I eat, everything, even the naughty. If I fall off the wagon, I'm gonna share that with you guys, which I'm trying not to. Okay, so I did have, I almost forgot, but yes, I did have like just a I think it was like one piece of bacon, actually. Now that I think about it, it was like one piece of bacon, and then did I have a butter bite? I might have had a butter bite. Might have. But if I did, then we'll just say I did. So today, again, when I woke up, I didn't eat anything. And then when I went to go make dinner about an hour ago, I snacked on 1.5 pieces of bacon from the fridge. Just, you know, bacon I cooked. Right bacon, yes, Elasticu. That bacon is awesome. Right bacon is awesome. So I had 1.5 pieces of that from my pile. And I decided to mix it up, and I got chicken breasts because I thought my family was kind of getting sick of maybe, you know, smelling meat or whatever, you know. So I said, hey, let's have some chicken Alfredo. So my wife and son's like, hey, cool. So for me, what I did is I actually grilled up mine separately, and I took like the boneless, skinless chicken breast, like, you know, they're pretty thick, and I put them on the cutting board. I put my hand on them, and you take your knife and you cut them in half, and that makes them easier to grill and cook, and you can still make them juicy. You got to cook them to temp. But so I basically ended up with 4, meaning I took two breasts, cut them in half, but I ended up eating total 1 3/4 of the chicken breast, basically, altogether. So I had 1 and 3/4, almost 2 chicken breasts, and I had Alfredo sauce, and it's homemade. So for those of you that don't know, Alfredo is technically carnivore. If you make the original, like, homemade version, the American homemade version, which is butter, cream, and Parmesan. Okay. So that's what I did. I made a homemade Alfredo with just that and salt. And then, so what I did is I actually I kind of, made the Alfredo sauce, and I poured like a spoonful, like one of those big serving spoons, you know, about a cup worth maybe altogether over the 4 halves. and that was my dinner. Of course, I also made the chicken with salt and butter. I made it with butter, like when I was grilling it. Um, Came out juicy, really tasty. The Alfredo sauce, really good. But like I said, a couple tablespoons of butter was with all that. And then I had one butter bite after dinner. I just was like cleaning up the kitchen, felt a little snackish, like dessert, maybe possible craving, maybe, but I just grabbed a butter bite. So that's everything I ate today. I didn't have any tea. I didn't have any unsweet tea. I haven't had any coffee. I may have coffee. I don't know. I don't know. It's almost 7 p.m. And it's a Saturday night, so I may stay up because I'm getting ready to film some stuff on my other channel. You know, we don't have to talk about it, but I may have coffee. If I have anything else, it's gonna be coffee. Like I said, when I'm done eating, it's either going to be coffee or maybe unsweet tea, or you know, most of the time, ice water. I love this thing. Oh, guys, this is the same water that you saw in the video last night. Hear the ice? Yeah, same one. I told you that brand Coldest is awesome. And we've tried a bunch of the brands, like a bunch of different things, but let's see what else. I'm trying to think about how I feel because I'm trying to make this kind of short and sweet tonight. How do I feel? Again, right now, after an hour after I had the chicken Alfredo, I don't feel any bloating because I didn't have any of the broccoli. Oh, and that was the other thing is what I did. The reason why I scooped the Alfredo onto the chicken breast, like mine, is because after that, if I wanted to add garlic and pepper for my family, because traditionally you want to add a little bit of garlic and pepper, you can do that. I had my son taste the Alfredo sauce and he was like, dude, that is awesome. So I was like, do you want me to add garlic and pepper? He's like, no, just leave it. But I didn't do nothing. And then I mixed it into their pasta. I made them some linguine. I actually didn't make fettuccine noodles. I made linguine noodles, and I tossed the sauce with the noodles, splash a little bit of pasta water just to make it even a little more creamy for them as well. And I also made them broccoli. You know, broccoli's a little more keto and stuff like that, but of course the pasta, you know, I mean, but I made them that dinner and they loved it. They had everything was good for them, so it was just a good way to where we both could benefit from that dinner, and I could still get my carnivore. Then right after dinner, I had to use the restroom. Again, some of that is probably because I don't have a gallbladder. So sometimes when I get done eating my meal, it triggers and I have to go. When I went potty, I did have diarrhea again. So that obviously is not directly from dinner, but I don't know. You know, I have a feeling, because I can tell you again, I don't want, if you're new like I am, or if you're going through this journey early, don't be scared. You don't need fiber. You don't need these things to have normal movements. Okay. I know from when I was on carnivore before, or a year ago, for those couple months, things become normal, and you won't have, believe it or not, you won't have a lot of, you're not going to probably have your everyday morning constitutional or something. Okay. I know from before, you just go every once in a while, and it's not a lot because there's not a lot of waste. You know what I mean? Now, as you're losing weight and your body's doing things, yeah, it's probably going to expel some stuff, and that could be what I'm also experiencing. Who knows? But I am going to be weighing in, and I'm going to be weighing in not tomorrow, not on day 7, but Monday morning. I'm going to be weighing in Monday morning at the beginning of week 2. So I got kind of my first weigh-in coming up, so I'm a little nervous about that. I don't know why. I'm not expecting a lot. I'm not really nervous, I guess, but I don't know. I'm just curious. But we'll just see. I'm going to be patient because I know that the carnivore works. right now, again, I'm just in that reprogramming phase, just reprogramming myself mentally. And I'm sure you are too if you're starting your journey. So, um, again, cravings, remember a lot of it's mostly just all mental now. At this point, it's just going to be triggers. It's just going to be the normal stuff that all those bad habits that you've programmed yourself for years, sometimes your whole life. And now all of a sudden it's like those cravings, you know what I mean? And it's just mental triggers. So just, if you get them, take a breath, think about your satisfaction, your satiety, you know. Think about, oh, I am full. I'm fine. You know, I don't need it. I don't need it. And move on. That's the best advice I have for you today. So, but anyways, but again, thank you all for the support so much. It really means a lot that you guys keep interacting and, you know, keep encouraging and keep sharing like your ups and downs and the questions. The questions help. They help me to think about things and to remind me of stuff. So again, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you tomorrow at the end of the first week. So we'll see how we'll see how it all goes. I'm excited.